The arrival. Dr. Elena Vasquez squinted at the pulsing dot on her computer screen, her heart racing. After triple-checking her calculations, she knew there was no mistake. She reached for her phone with trembling fingers. "Director Chen, it's Vasquez. You need to see this. Now." Within the hour, the observation deck of the Mauna Kea Observatory buzzed with activity. Scientists huddled around monitors, their excited whispers filling the air. Director Chen stood beside Elena, his usually composed face etched with concern. "You're certain?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Elena nodded. "The object's trajectory and speed are unlike anything we've ever seen. It's not a comet, asteroid, or any known celestial body." "Sir, I believe we're looking at—" She hesitated, the words catching in her throat. "An alien spacecraft," Chen finished for her. As if on cue, every screen in the observatory flickered, then went dark. A moment later, they came back to life, displaying a single message: "We come to judge." Thousands of miles away, in a nondescript government building in Washington, D.C., General Marcus Stone slammed his fist on the table. "What do you mean, we can't contact them?" A young lieutenant, visibly nervous, cleared his throat. "Sir, we've tried every frequency, every known method of communication. They're not responding." Stone turned to the window, gazing at the clear blue sky. Somewhere up there, an alien fleet was approaching, and humanity was woefully unprepared. "Get me the president," he growled. As chaos erupted in governments worldwide, a different scene unfolded in a small town in Nebraska. Sarah Cooper, a high school physics teacher, stood before her class, trying to maintain composure as she explained the situation. "As you've all heard by now," she began, her voice steady despite her racing heart, "we are not alone in the universe, and our visitors will be here soon." A hand shot up. "Miss Cooper, are they going to kill us all?" Sarah managed a small smile. "We don't know their intentions, Tommy. But what we do know is that humanity has faced countless challenges throughout history, and we've always found a way to overcome them. This is no different." As Sarah spoke, she felt a surge of determination. She may not be a world leader or a top scientist, but she knew that in times like these, every person had a role to play. Across the globe, similar scenes played out. People from all walks of life grappled with the reality of impending alien contact. Some panicked, emptying store shelves and fleeing to rural areas. Others found solace in faith, filling places of worship to capacity. But many, inspired by leaders and everyday heroes alike, chose to face the unknown with courage and hope. In New Delhi, Dr. Amrita Patel, a renowned linguist, worked tirelessly with her team to develop potential communication strategies. "We must be prepared for anything," she told her colleagues. "Their language, their methods of communication, they could be utterly foreign to us. But language is the bridge between worlds. We will find a way." Meanwhile, in a secret facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, a diverse group of individuals gathered. Hand-picked from around the world, they represented the best humanity had to offer: scientists, diplomats, military strategists, and more. Dr. James Harper, a brilliant physicist with a penchant for thinking outside the box, addressed the group. "Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at the most critical juncture in human history. Our actions in the coming days will determine the fate of our species." He gestured to a holographic display showing the approaching alien fleet. "We don't know their capabilities or their intentions. But we do know this: humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to adapt, to innovate, and to come together in the face of adversity." As the group began to strategize, a young engineer named Zara Okoro spoke up. "What if we're looking at this all wrong? We're preparing for conflict, but what if there's another way?" General Stone scoffed. "They said they've come to judge us, Ms. Okoro. That doesn't sound friendly to me." Zara stood her ground. "With all due respect, General, judgment doesn't necessarily mean destruction. What if this is a test? A way to determine our worth as a species?" A murmur rippled through the room. Dr. Harper nodded thoughtfully. Zora may be onto something. If this is indeed a test, we need to showcase the best of humanity. Our intelligence, our creativity, our compassion. As the team debated and planned, the alien fleet drew ever closer. In orbit around Jupiter, the massive ships began to slow their approach. Earth's most powerful telescopes captured images of the vessels, sleek, silver crafts that seemed to shimmer and shift, defying conventional physics. Back on Earth, Elena Vasquez worked with a team of astronomers to analyze every scrap of data they could gather about the aliens. Their technology it's beyond anything we could have imagined, she breathed, studying the latest images. The way their ships move, the energy readings we're getting, it's like they're rewriting the laws of physics as we know them. In Nebraska, Sarah Cooper organized her students and community members. We may not be on the front lines, she told them, but we can contribute. We'll gather data, share information, and show these aliens that even in the smallest towns, humanity's spirit shines bright. As the world held its breath, the alien fleet entered Earth's orbit. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, every electronic device on the planet came to life simultaneously. Phones, computers, televisions, all displayed the same message. People of Earth, we are the Zoraxians. We have traveled across the stars to find worlds worthy of joining our galactic community. You will be judged. You will be tested. Your fate rests in your own hands. Prepare yourselves. The trials begin at dawn. In the secret facility, the team watched the message with a mix of fear and determination. Dr. Harper turned to the group, his eyes blazing with resolve. This is it. Everything we've worked for, everything we've prepared for, it all comes down to this. We may be facing our greatest challenge, but we're also facing our greatest opportunity. Let's show these Zoraxians what humanity is truly capable of. As the message faded, a tense silence fell over the Earth. In homes, in government buildings, in town squares, people everywhere steeled themselves for what was to come. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and the dawn would bring challenges unlike any they had faced before. But as the sun set on this momentous day, a powerful feeling began to take hold. It wasn't just fear or uncertainty, it was hope. Hope born from the knowledge that throughout history, when faced with seemingly insurmountable odds, humanity had always found a way to prevail. In the fading light, Sarah Cooper gathered her students on the school football field. Together, they looked up at the sky, where the faint glimmer of alien ships could be seen among the stars. Whatever happens tomorrow, Sarah said, her voice carrying across the quiet field, remember this, we are not just individuals, we are humanity. And together, there's nothing we can't overcome. As night fell, the people of Earth prepared for a dawn that would change everything. The Zoraxians had come to judge, but humanity stood ready to show the universe what they were truly made of. The greatest test in human history was about to begin, and the whole world held its breath, waiting for the trials that would determine their fate. The challenge. As the first rays of sunlight crept over the horizon, an eerie silence blanketed the Earth. The usual morning bustle was replaced by a tense anticipation. Billions of eyes turned skyward, awaiting the Zoraxians' next move. In the secret facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. James Harper paced nervously. Any moment now, he muttered, glancing at his watch for the 100th time. Suddenly, the air shimmered, and a holographic figure materialized in the center of the room. The being stood over 8 feet tall, its body covered in iridescent scales that shifted colors with each movement. 4 arms extended from its torso, and its head was adorned with elaborate, antenna-like structures. Greetings, Terrans, the alien spoke, its voice a melodious hum that seemed to resonate within their minds. I am Zaxvor, emissary of the Zoraxian Collective. Your trials begin now. Similar holograms appeared in major cities worldwide, broadcasting the same message to a stunned global audience. Your species stands at a crossroads, Zaxvor continued. To determine your worthiness, you will face 3 challenges. Each will test a different aspect of your civilization: your intelligence, your adaptability, and your unity. The room erupted into a flurry of whispers, but Zaxvor raised a hand, silencing them. Your first trial begins in 1 solar rotation. You must decipher the cosmic cipher, an encrypted message hidden within the fabric of your own universe. This challenge will test your scientific prowess and problem-solving abilities. With that, the hologram vanished, leaving behind a stunned silence. Dr. Elena Vasquez was the first to break the quiet. The fabric of our universe? What could that mean? Zara Okoro's eyes lit up. What if they're talking about cosmic background radiation? The leftover electromagnetic signals from the Big Bang. Dr. Harper nodded enthusiastically. Brilliant, Zara. We need to analyze those signals immediately. Get in touch with every radio telescope on the planet. We'll need all the data we can get. As the team sprang into action, similar scenes played out across the globe. In New Delhi, Dr. Amrita Patel assembled a team of the world's top cryptographers. If there's a message hidden in the cosmos, she declared, we'll find it. Meanwhile, in Nebraska, Sarah Cooper rallied her students and community. We might not have advanced telescopes, she announced, but we have something just as valuable: fresh perspectives. Let's think outside the box and see what we can come up with. As Earth mobilized for the first challenge, the Zeraxian ships remained in orbit, silent sentinels watching the planet below. Hours ticked by as scientists worldwide pored over cosmic radiation data. Supercomputers crunched numbers, AI algorithms searched for patterns, and human minds pushed the boundaries of their understanding. In the Rocky Mountain facility, frustration mounted. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, Dr. Vasquez groaned, rubbing her tired eyes. Zara, who had been unusually quiet, suddenly spoke up. What if we're thinking too literally? They said the message was hidden in the fabric of the universe. What's more fundamental to the universe than mathematics? Dr. Harper's eyes widened. Of course, the language of the cosmos itself. But what mathematical concept could be universal enough? Prime numbers, a new voice chimed in. Everyone turned to see Tommy, Sarah Cooper's student, on a video call. Miss Cooper encouraged us to join the global brainstorming sessions. We were thinking, prime numbers are the same everywhere in the universe, right? The room buzzed with excitement. Tommy, you might have just saved humanity, Dr. Harper beamed. With this new perspective, the team refocused their efforts. They began analyzing the cosmic background radiation data, looking for sequences of prime numbers hidden within the signals. As the deadline approached, tension reached a fever pitch. Then, with just hours to spare, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. We've got it. Sarah Cooper's voice rang out over the global communication channel. My students and I, we were playing with the data, trying to visualize it in different ways. We turned the signal into a 3D model and, well, you need to see this. The image she shared left everyone speechless. Hidden within the 3D representation of the cosmic background radiation was a clear message, a series of complex equations and diagrams. Dr. Harper laughed in disbelief. It's a blueprint for a device of some kind. As scientists worldwide collaborated to decipher the blueprint, the true nature of the challenge became clear. The Zeraxians hadn't just hidden a message, they had concealed the plans for a revolutionary clean energy device, one that could solve Earth's energy crisis and dramatically reduce pollution. With just minutes to spare, Dr. Harper transmitted their findings to the Zeraxian emissary. The response was immediate. Zaxvor's hologram reappeared, its color-shifting scales seeming to ripple with approval. Congratulations, Terrans. You have successfully completed the first trial. Your ability to unite global resources, think creatively, and push the boundaries of your scientific understanding is impressive. A collective sigh of relief washed over the planet, but it was short-lived. However, Zaxvor continued, this was merely the beginning. Your second trial will test your adaptability in the face of crisis. Prepare yourselves, for in 12 solar hours, your world will change. As the hologram faded, an uneasy silence fell over the room. They had passed the first test, but at what cost? The clean energy device, while a boon to humanity, would disrupt entire industries. And what did the Zoraxian mean by their world changing? General Stone voiced what everyone was thinking. We've won the battle, but the war is far from over. Whatever comes next, we need to be ready. Dr. Harper nodded grimly. Agreed. Let's get to work on this blueprint. If our world is going to change, let's make sure we're the ones controlling that change. As the team dispersed, each member felt the weight of responsibility on their shoulders. They had passed the first trial, but the true test of humanity's worth was yet to come. Outside, the Zoraxian ships glimmered in the sunlight, a constant reminder of the challenges that lay ahead. Humanity had proven their intelligence, but could they adapt to a crisis? And more importantly, could they maintain their unity in the face of unprecedented change? As the 12-hour countdown began, the people of Earth steeled themselves for whatever the Zoraxians had in store. The second trial loomed on the horizon, promising to push humanity to its limits and beyond. Unexpected allies. As the 12-hour countdown ticked away, Earth braced itself for the Zoraxians' second trial. In the Rocky Mountain facility, Dr. James Harper and his team worked feverishly to decipher and implement the clean energy blueprint they had discovered. "We're cutting it close," Zara Okoro muttered, her fingers flying over a holographic keyboard. "If we can't get this prototype up and running before the next challenge hits." Her words were cut short as the ground beneath them began to tremble. Alarms blared throughout the facility. "What's happening?" General Stone demanded, steadying himself against a console. Dr. Elena Vasquez's face paled as she studied the incoming data. It's happening everywhere. Massive tectonic shifts across the globe. Cities are sinking, new islands are forming. It's like the entire planet is being reshaped. As chaos erupted worldwide, Zaxvor's hologram materialized once more. "Terrans, your second trial has begun. We have accelerated the natural geological processes of your planet. You have 72 of your hours to adapt to your new world and save as many lives as possible. Your response will determine your worthiness." The hologram vanished, leaving the team in stunned silence. "Those bastards," General Stone growled. "They're toying with us." Dr. Harper raised a hand, his face set in determination. "No time for anger, General. We need solutions, and fast." He turned to the team. "Zara, Elena, focus on getting that clean energy device operational. We'll need it to power our relief efforts. The rest of you, let's coordinate with every available resource we have. We're going to need a miracle to get through this." As the team sprang into action, a strange phenomenon occurred in orbit. One of the smaller Zoraxian ships broke formation, descending rapidly towards Earth. "Sir," a technician called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the approaching vessel." A new hologram flickered to life, revealing a Zoraxian who appeared younger, its scales a vibrant blue. "Humans of Earth, I am Zin Lear of the Zoraxian Resistance. We no longer agree with the methods of the collective. We wish to help." Skepticism filled the room, but Dr. Harper stepped forward. "And why should we trust you?" Zin Lear's antenna-like structures quivered. "Because we've seen your potential. Your response to the first trial, the way you came together. It reminded us of what our own civilization once was, before we became this." The young Zoraxian gestured to itself. "We believe there's a better way, and we want to help you prove it to the collective." General Stone scoffed. This could be another trick, another part of their test. "Perhaps," Dr. Harper mused. "But can we afford to refuse any help right now?" The decision was made for them as the facility shuddered again, more violently this time. Cracks appeared in the walls, and warning lights flashed ominously. "We're out of options," Dr. Harper declared. "Zin Lear, we accept your help." What can you offer us? The young Zoraxian's eyes gleamed. We have technology that can help stabilize the tectonic shifts, at least temporarily, but we'll need your help to implement it on a global scale. As Zinle's ship landed, a small group of Zoraxian rebels disembarked, carrying strange, pulsating devices. The sight of the aliens walking among them sent shockwaves through the facility, but there was no time for wonder or fear. Working side by side, humans and Zoraxian rebels raced against time. The rebels' technology, combined with the newly operational clean energy device, allowed them to create a network of stabilizing fields across the planet. Meanwhile, Sarah Cooper and her students in Nebraska found themselves on the front lines of a different battle. Their town, once landlocked, now sat on the edge of a rapidly forming coastline. Everyone to higher ground. Sarah shouted, helping evacuate families as water rushed through the streets. Tommy, Jessica, get those drones in the air. We need to map the changing landscape. Across the globe, similar scenes played out. In the flooded streets of New Delhi, Dr. Amrita Patel coordinated rescue efforts from the roof of her laboratory. In the newly formed mountains of France, climbers became impromptu rescue teams, guiding people to safety. Humanity's resourcefulness shone through the crisis. Ships became floating cities, welcoming refugees from sinking lands. Desert nations offered sanctuary to those displaced by new oceans. The clean energy technology, rapidly deployed worldwide, powered massive desalination plants and climate control systems. As the 72-hour mark approached, Earth had transformed. Coastlines were unrecognizable, new mountain ranges pierced the sky, and islands dotted oceans where there had once been continents. But against all odds, billions had been saved, and a new spirit of global unity had emerged. In the final hours, Dr. Harper and Zinle stood side by side, watching holographic projections of the changed Earth. "It's remarkable," Zinle murmured. "In all our travels, we've never seen a species adapt so quickly, so creatively." Dr. Harper smiled wryly. "We're too stubborn to give up easily, but we couldn't have done it without you and your people." As the clock ticked down to 0, Zaxvor's hologram appeared once more. The elder Zoraxian's eyes widened at the sight of Zinle. "What is the meaning of this?" Zaxvor demanded. Zinle stepped forward. "We've seen the truth, Elder. These humans, they're not just worthy of joining our galactic community. They might be the key to saving it." Zaxvor's scales rippled with conflicting colors. This changes things. The collective will need to reconsider its approach." The elder Zoraxian turned to Dr. Harper. "You have passed the second trial, humans. Your adaptability and unity in the face of crisis are unprecedented. But be warned, the final trial will test you in ways you cannot imagine. Prepare yourselves." As Zaxvor's hologram faded, a mixture of relief and apprehension filled the room. They had survived the reshaping of their world, but at what cost? And what greater challenge could possibly lie ahead? Dr. Harper turned to his team, his eyes reflecting the determination that had carried them this far. "We faced the impossible and survived. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together, humans and Zoraxians alike." As the sun set on the transformed Earth, its people looked to the stars with a new perspective. They had been tested, pushed to their limits, and emerged stronger. But the final trial loomed on the horizon, promising to challenge humanity in ways they could scarcely imagine. The fate of Earth, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. The stage was set for the most crucial test in human history, one that would determine not just their survival, but their place in the cosmic order. The final trial. As Earth settled into its new geological reality, an uneasy calm descended upon the planet. The alliance between humans and the Zoraxian rebels had brought about unprecedented technological advancements, but the looming final trial cast a shadow over these achievements. In the transformed plains of Nebraska, now a bustling coastal metropolis, Sarah Cooper led a group of students through the gleaming halls of the newly established Terran Zoraxian Institute of Innovation. And here, Sarah explained, gesturing to a shimmering holographic display, is where we're developing the next generation of climate stabilizers. Tommy, now a lanky teenager, raised his hand. Miss Cooper, do you think this tech will help us in the final trial? Before Sarah could answer, alarms blared throughout the building. Emergency broadcasts flickered to life on every screen. This is a global alert. All citizens, please remain calm and stand by for an important announcement. In the Rocky Mountain facility, now a sprawling complex that served as Earth's de facto capital, Dr. James Harper and his team gathered anxiously. Xin La, the young Zoraxian rebel leader, joined them, his scales shimmering with nervous energy. The familiar hologram of Zax-4 materialized, but something was different. The elder Zoraxian's usual air of superiority was replaced by an expression that could only be described as fear. People of Earth, Zax-4 began, his voice trembling slightly. The collective has decreed that your final trial will commence immediately. But I must warn you, this challenge threatens not just your world, but the entire galaxy. The room erupted in murmurs of confusion and concern. Dr. Harper stepped forward. What exactly are we facing, Zax-4? The Zoraxian scales rippled dark colors. We have detected a quantum anomaly on a collision course with your solar system. This anomaly has the potential to unravel the very fabric of space-time. Your task is to find a way to neutralize this threat. You have precisely 48 of your hours before impact. As the hologram faded, stunned silence fell over the room. It was General Stone who finally broke it. This is insanity, he roared. How can they expect us to solve a problem that threatens the entire galaxy? Dr. Elena Vasquez, now sporting cybernetic enhancements that allowed her to process data at superhuman speeds, spoke up. Perhaps that's the point, General. This isn't just about saving ourselves anymore. It's about proving we have what it takes to be true members of a galactic community. Zara Okoro, her dark skin now adorned with bioluminescent Zoraxian tattoos, a gift from their alien allies, nodded in agreement. We've come this far by working together. Now we need to take that collaboration to a cosmic scale. Dr. Harper's eyes lit up with determination. Zinler, can your people provide any insights into this quantum anomaly? The young Zoraxian's antenna twitched thoughtfully. We have ancient texts that speak of similar phenomena. They were thought to be merely legends, but perhaps they hold the key. As the team delved into Zoraxian lore and cutting-edge physics, a plan began to take shape. It would require resources and cooperation on a scale never before seen in human history. Sarah Cooper's voice came through on the global communication channel. We're picking up unusual energy readings from the ancient temples in Cambodia. They seem to be resonating with the approaching anomaly. This revelation sparked a global treasure hunt. Teams were dispatched to Earth's oldest sites, the pyramids of Egypt, Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, and more. Each location yielded pieces of a cosmic puzzle left behind by ancient visitors. In New Delhi, Dr. Amrita Patel made a breakthrough. The symbols at these sites, they're not just decorative, they're equations. Quantum equations that predate our understanding of physics by millennia. As the puzzle pieces came together, a daring plan emerged. They would build a quantum resonance array using Earth itself as a giant transmitter. The array would harness the energy of the approaching anomaly, redirecting it into a controlled dimensional rift. But there was a catch. The calculations are clear, Dr. Vasquez announced grimly. For this to work, someone needs to pilot a ship directly into the anomaly. It's a one-way trip. Silence fell over the room. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, but who would make the ultimate sacrifice? To everyone's surprise, it was Tommy, Sarah's former student, now a brilliant young physicist, who stepped forward. I'll do it, he said, his voice steady despite the fear in his eyes. Absolutely not, Sarah protested. You're just a kid. Tommy shook his head. I'm not a kid anymore, Miss Cooper. None of us are. This is bigger than any one person. If I can save billions of lives, how can I not try? As preparations for the mission reached a fever pitch, an unexpected message arrived from the Zoraxian fleet. Zaxvor's hologram appeared, but this time he wasn't alone. The entire Zoraxian High Council stood with him. Humans of Earth, Zaxvor announced, your response to this crisis has moved us deeply. We no longer see this as a trial, but as a joint mission. We stand ready to assist in any way we can. With the full might of Zoraxian technology behind them, the quantum resonance array was completed just as the anomaly entered the solar system. Tommy, encased in a hybrid human-Zoraxian ship, prepared for launch. As the young hero blasted off towards his destiny, the people of Earth held their breath. The quantum array hummed to life, its energy connecting every corner of the planet in a web of shimmering light. Tommy's voice crackled over the comms as he approached the anomaly. It's beautiful, he whispered, like nothing I've ever seen. As his ship entered the swirling vortex of the quantum anomaly, the array activated. Energy surged across the planet, through the ancient sites and into space. The anomaly twisted, warped, and finally collapsed in on itself, taking Tommy's ship with it. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, a new star blazed to life where the anomaly had been, a stellar nursery, born from the controlled collapse. Cheers erupted across the planet and throughout the Zoraxian fleet. Against all odds, they had done it. Earth had not only saved itself, but had given birth to new worlds, new possibilities. As celebrations began, Dr. Harper stood with Xin Lur, gazing at the newborn star. Do you think he survived? Harper asked softly. Xin Lur's antenna quivered. In a way, he will live forever. His sacrifice has written a new chapter in the history of the cosmos. As the light of the new star washed over Earth, humanity stood at the threshold of a new era. They had faced unimaginable challenges and emerged stronger, wiser, and ready to take their place among the stars. The final trial was over, but humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. A new era, the newborn star, dubbed Tommy's Light by a grateful Earth, shimmered in the night sky, a constant reminder of humanity's triumph and sacrifice. In the months following the final trial, Earth and the Zoraxian Collective entered a period of unprecedented cooperation and growth. On a crisp autumn morning, Dr. James Harper stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, the first joint human-Zoraxian space habitat orbiting Earth. He marveled at the view below, a planet transformed not just geologically, but culturally and technologically as well. Quite a sight, isn't it? A familiar voice startled him from his reverie. Harper turned to see Sarah Cooper, now Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Council, approaching with a smile. Her once dark hair was streaked with silver, a testament to the challenges they'd faced. I never tire of it, Harper admitted. To think, just a few years ago, we thought we were alone in the universe. Sarah nodded, her eyes twinkling. And now we're hosting the first Intergalactic Peace Summit. We've come a long way, James. As if on cue, a sleek ship emerged from hyperspace, its hull gleaming with an otherworldly iridescence. It was followed by dozens more, each unique in design, representing civilizations from across the galaxy. They're here, Harper breathed, a mix of excitement and apprehension in his voice. The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity as delegates from 100 worlds arrived at Harmony Station. Humans worked alongside Zoraxians, greeting the visitors and guiding them to the Grand Assembly Hall. As the summit began, Zaxvor, now the Zoraxian ambassador to Earth, took the stage. His once imposing figure now seemed almost grandfatherly as he addressed the gathered species. Friends, allies, honored guests, he began, his voice resonating through the hall. We stand at a pivotal moment in galactic history. For too long, the Zoraxian Collective sought to judge and test other species, believing our way was the only path to advancement. But Earth has shown us a different way. He gestured to the human delegates. These remarkable beings faced our trials with ingenuity, adaptability, and above all, unity. They showed us that true strength lies not in domination, but in cooperation. As Zax Force spoke, holographic displays came to life, showcasing Earth's journey, the decoded cosmic cipher that led to clean energy, the reshaping of the planet and humanity's incredible adaptation, and finally, the quantum anomaly and Tommy's sacrifice. In their darkest hour, Zax Force continued, his voice thick with emotion. When faced with a threat to the entire galaxy, they did not hesitate to risk everything, not just for themselves, but for all of us. The assembly hall erupted in applause, appendages of all shapes and sizes clapping, clicking, and pulsating in approval. As the applause died down, Dr. Harper took the stage. "Thank you, Ambassador Zax Force. Your words humble us. But we did not achieve these things alone. It was only through partnership with the Zoraxian rebels and later the entire collective that we were able to face these challenges." Harper's eyes scanned the diverse crowd. "That is why we've called this summit. Earth stands ready to share our knowledge, our resources, and our spirit of innovation with all peaceful civilizations. Together, we can usher in a new era of galactic cooperation and discovery." The excitement in the room was palpable as Harper unveiled Earth's proposal, the Galactic Exchange Program. It would allow for the free flow of knowledge, technology, and culture between worlds. Universities would open their doors to students from across the stars. Scientists from 1,000 planets would collaborate on the greatest mysteries of the universe. As the summit progressed, more wonders were revealed. Zara Okoro, her bioluminescent tattoos glowing with excitement, presented a revolutionary faster-than-light drive, born from the fusion of human creativity and Zoraxian technology. Dr. Elena Vasquez introduced a universal translation matrix that could bridge the language gap between any species instantaneously. But it was the final presentation that left the assembly in awe. Dr. Amrita Patel, together with a team of multi-species researchers, had been studying the quantum equations discovered during the final trial. What they found defied imagination. "Distinguished delegates," Dr. Patel announced, her voice trembling with excitement, "we believe we have discovered a way to access parallel universes." The hall erupted in a cacophony of shocked exclamations and excited chatter. Dr. Patel raised her hands for quiet. "But more than that," she continued, "we have detected a signal from another Earth, in another reality. An Earth that faced different trials, different challenges, and they're reaching out to us." As if on cue, a shimmering portal opened in the center of the assembly hall. Through it stepped Tommy. Not the Tommy who had sacrificed himself to save the galaxy, but a Tommy from another reality. Older, battle-scarred, but undeniably alive. "Hello," he said, his voice echoing through the stunned silence. "I believe we have a lot to talk about." As the assembly erupted in chaos and wonder, Dr. Harper couldn't help but smile. This was beyond anything they could have imagined when the Zoraxians first arrived. They had not only secured their place in the galaxy, but had opened doors to entirely new realities. The challenges they had faced, the trials they had overcome, they were just the beginning. A new chapter in the story of humanity, of the Zoraxians, of all sentient life was unfolding, and it promised to be the greatest adventure yet. As Tommy from another reality began to share his tale, Dr. Harper caught Sarah's eye across the room. They shared a knowing smile. Whatever came next, they would face it together, not just as humans, not just as Earthlings, but as part of a grand, cosmic family. The age of isolation was over. The universe, in all its infinite variations, awaited, and humanity, tested by fire and reborn in the crucible of cosmic challenges, was ready to take its place among the stars. Tommy's light shone brightly in the sky, a beacon of hope and a promise of adventures yet to come. The greatest journey of all was just beginning.